Oh, we're live. Like that, yeah? We're live. We're live. Style of play. The debate show. Been waiting for this one. Rub my hands together so everyone can know that I'm ready to take the annihilation that these two people are going to probably give me because of Chelsea this weekend. But for anyone that's listening, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video, all of that stuff, and make sure you you tell people about it. And if you're live as well with us, get involved in the conversation and give your thoughts in the comments as well. But obviously, opening game of the Premier League. Before getting to that, Kojo, how you doing first of all, sir? I can't hear you, Kojo.
Okay, there you go. We're in now.
Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you, Basil.
Yeah, because I think it said we were in the green room.
Okay.
So
there we go.
There we go. We sorted it. So can you now see each other? That's the bigger question.
No.
Listen, we're gonna run with it, man. We're gonna run with it. It's the first one. Things are gonna go wrong in the first one. What can I say? But Kojo, I was asking, how are you doing? I'm sure you're probably gonna say that you're doing good, but how you doing, man?
Yeah, no, I'm cool. I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. All the pressure was on my team Friday night, and obviously we came away with victory, so I could rest easy Saturday and Sunday. So yeah, man, I'm feeling good, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Always good, regardless of the results. We're gonna get into it. But Basil, what are you saying, man?
No, it was good. I mean, I tuned in for 3 hate watches. Only had 2 successful hate watches. Unfortunately, United couldn't make it the third one, but Chelsea and Tottenham didn't disappoint. So a great weekend for me.
Yeah, well, let's start there. I want to get this one out of the way because I know that this is coming, and I just want to get it out of the way. And so let's start with Chelsea. Let's start.
I feel like we should marinate things in.
No. Do you know why? No. Listen, stop it, man. What are we doing? But no. The reason I want to talk about Chelsea is obviously before the game, there was a lot of controversy already before the game. Raheem Sterling puts out, not Raheem Sterling, I want to get this right. So his management team put out a statement to say, he's got 3 years left on the deal. He was in Maresca's plans throughout pre-season. He's trained really hard and all the rest of it. And he was kind of blindsided by the sounds of it that he wasn't going to be involved in the game in some capacity on Sunday against Manchester City. Basil, I'll come to you first, but what's your thoughts on the statement? Do you think it was a good thing to put out, or do you reckon it was just a wild thing to say before a game?
It's a power play. I think what Sterling has done is he's seen like how the others have been treated, like Shabaloa and Conor Gallagher. And he's like, I'm from a completely different stock compared to them. He's like, I come from good stock. I've come from Liverpool. I come from City, where I won a lot of things, competed for a lot of things. And my treatment is different to how you treat these other players. And this is just a power play to let them know that, listen, I'm not a young boy where you can kind of just push to the side and treat anyhow. I'm, a guy who's come from 2 big clubs. I'm an experienced player. I think he's 29, 30 now. So he's like, I'm at the age where treat me with some dignity and treat me with some respect. And that statement itself was a power play because ultimately when you read the statement, there is no clarity you're going to get in public. So when they're using words like we want clarity, we've trained well, and, through our discussion, we kind of want to know where we stand. You can have that privately, or you would have had that privately. This is basically a power play to let the board know and even the manager know that, listen, I am a player with a reputation and you're supposed to kind of handle me differently. That's literally what that statement was. Or that's how I feel that statement kind of came across.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with it a little bit. I for me, it was a bit of both because I feel like it was obviously Sterling being one of the older players for me personally. You should be leading by example now. Do you know what I mean? He should be coming into this thing where he's like, you're 29. Go on.
But Theo, quick question, do you think that he just sees the writing on the walls, which is why he's decided to get him first?
I hear that. No, I hear it. I hear it, but you sign a contract. You sign a contract and they're paying you 300 grand a week. So you kind of got to take some losses somewhere. And you sign a contract, you're contracted to a club and you got 3 years left on your deal. So I hear what he's saying about, you want to be included in the squad and you've trained really hard and, you feel that you should be in the squad ahead of certain people or whatever. But take it to the manager on Tuesday morning then. Go knock on his door Tuesday morning or Monday morning, whatever, and say, look, I should be in the team. And this, I said on my other channel, my Chelsea channel, this must happen in other clubs elsewhere all the time. It must happen. The problem is it doesn't normally surface to social media and, the media get hold of it. But I just think at 29, you've still got a role to play somewhere, whether it's at Chelsea or somewhere else, yeah? But do it through the right channels. Don't do it where people like Jamie Carragher and Darren Ben and all these other people can come out and then have a go at you, because that's all that we've spoken about. We haven't spoke about the game. We just spoke about Sterling's statement and whether it's right or wrong. So it's harsh on him, because if he's not in the manager's plans, it leaves him literally 10, 11 days to find a new club. And he's on 325 grand a week. So who's paying that apart from a Saudi club? Probably no one.
That's it. And obviously the way Chelsea behaved in the transfer market, they will probably want the amount of money they spent for Sterling.
Yeah, come on. And the rest added on. Well, Kojo, what do you think? Do you think it's mad that he done the statement, or can you agree to an extent with what he did?
I see where he's coming from, but for me, like, okay, I'll take into account that he was part of the preseason plans and he played, but on match day, if you're not selected, like you said, number one, go to the manager directly. But number two, just get your head down and go train and try and get into the squad for the next game, man. Thing is, yeah, we've all known Raheem Sterling's quality for a long time. Raheem Sterling is not new to this game. I'm sure he's had tough days in football in general. At City, he was at a club which to this day still rotates out of nowhere. You can be in the top of form, you can score a hat-trick, and next week you're on the bench. It's just about working with the system. You're at a club now that's bought a load of players, and a load of those players play in your position. Mudryk can play in your position. Neto, the newest sign, can play in your position. Someone like Madueke can play both sides. You know what I mean? Like,
João Felix.
João Felix is now coming in. Like, these are the things you're dealing with. So,
yeah.
What was that?
I said, and Kukun can play there. You can even throw in Jackson if you want.
Jackson as well.
Jackson
there you go. So this is the point. Like, sometimes you just gotta say, I gotta knuckle down, or you just go to the club and say, look, I'm looking to leave. But if you're looking to leave, you gotta be in a position where your agent has clubs ready for you, where they're gonna make a bid, and you understand. Because let's be honest, at this point in his career, it's gonna have to be a wage cut.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Unless because like you said, unless it's Saudi Arabia. And I believe Sterling is someone that still wants to play at the top level, because he's played for Liverpool, he's played for City, he's played for Chelsea, he's played for three of the three Premier League winners by history of the league, and he's won it all with City as well. Apart from the Champions League. I think sometimes you just got, if your plan A is not working, you have your plan B ready. This is football. This is what sport is. If you're at a club where you think you're not going to get game time or something, sometimes you just got to bite the bullet. But I would have stopped his management team from saying something. I think I would have just said, you know what, ride this game out. Let's talk to the manager, then let's see. I think it looks better. I don't like the PR stuff. I don't really believe in PR nonsense. But I think sometimes as a player, you got to stay publicly. It will look better for me if I just say, you know what, all right, cool, I'm at the squad. Say less. I'll go train, work hard, but behind the scenes, I talk to the manager and say, look, I'm looking to leave. If that leaks, it is what it is. At least you were there for a while. You tried your best to, you show your commitment on the pitch, so no one can come and chat to you. Whether that's on in a match day or on training ground, and they go from there, man. But listen, the day João Felix signs the contract, it's time for him to go, man. It's time for him to go. So, let's be honest, the Chelsea experiment for Sterling has just not worked out, bro. That's what it is.
It hasn't. The issue is this. I'll say a few things, and I said this at the beginning of I said this when Chelsea started this transfer nonsense from last summer. So it's in fairness. In Sterling's defense, I'll say this: Sterling, it hasn't fully worked out, but Sterling actually hasn't been a bad player for Chelsea.
I don't think he has.
I think he's been one of the better performers. The only issue you have with Sterling is that he hasn't been clinical in front of goal, which we've all known from his City days. He's not the most clinical, which is why Pep used him as make the run and back post, we'll lay to you. All you have to do is kind of tap the ball in, and that was what it was kind of useful. Chelsea brought him in for him to be a focal point, and for him to kind of things to come through him. He was never that kind of player because in the final third, sometimes he's found wanting, sometimes with the final pass, or sometimes with his shooting, which just isn't great. He's a fantastic player, very intelligent, good dribbling, can link up, but sometimes it's what's in that final third. And in fairness, I don't think he performed that badly last season. I thought he was one of the better performers, considering how many players were playing bad last season. The biggest issue I did say is that. What do you say, Kojo?
I was just going to say, sorry, can I just interject there and say the reason why I say it hasn't worked out is not because I think he's had poor performances. It's more to do with the pressure that's happening at Chelsea. Because Chelsea have never, and I call this a transition period, but this is a transition that I've never seen before. This is a very weird, odd situation for Chelsea because when you talk about transition periods, you talk about teams like Chelsea did losing a lot of the experience and players that they won stuff with. In regards to like the Champions League team when they had Jorginho, Kovacic, and Kante, that midfield got stripped within a year and a half, and you're trying to replace it with newer players, and they spend a bucket load of money. But they spend a bucket load of money everywhere, and that's what the problem is. So he's in a team where the pressure is very different. Because at Liverpool, he was a young boy. They weren't, the title challengers that they became after he left.
You got to remember how he moved from Liverpool, though. Let's not forget how he forced that move to City as well. So,
no.
So karma comes back around to you as well. So this might be his karma now.
I hear it. He forced the move. Yeah, not wrong. It probably is his karma. But at the same time, when he went to City, even though the pressure within City was to continue to win the league, he had so much quality around him and rotation around him that
Aguero
if he was missing, Aguero, if he was missing, it's like, okay, well, we can miss Sterling for 1 week. At Chelsea, I'm not saying that they can't miss Sterling for a week, but what I'm saying is this transition is so different that he's not playing with the obvious quality around him. Chelsea have signed good players, but because there's a lack of balance, there's a lot of pressure everywhere. So now when he's not doing what I think was wrong in the first place, but what some Chelsea fans maybe thought he was going to be for Chelsea, because he's not done that, he now looks terrible. Look at the reaction to when he had that free kick. Was it FA Cup when he had that free kick and he smashed it somewhere wide?
Leicester.
Players miss his shots. It happens. The reaction to that one, I was sitting at home. I wasn't laughing at him. I was thinking, they thought he was going to be a miracle worker, and
they should have known that, the fans. But I'll say this, right?
No, I think they do, though. I think they do know that. Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say this, but it's funny because what's happening now for me, I thought was going to happen at some point in the season, but it's just happened so early. Because I did say, even from last season, when you have whoever the manager is, it's a poison chalice. Because when you've got so many players to kind of deal with, you're dealing with players with different emotions, different egos. You're going to have to leave players out, and players are going to be unhappy. And after a while, some players are going to come out, make statements, or behave in a way which isn't expectant of what the club or what a manager expects them to, because there's just too many people to deal with in terms of their expectations. And we're seeing it now with Sterling. He's the first one to start. It's going to happen because there's just too many players that they kind of have to keep happy, and that is going to ruin the harmony within the Chelsea squad at some point. And this is going to fester on, because I guarantee there's going to be another one or two who will follow Sterling's lead. Maybe not to the extent of a statement, but you'll start to see things trickle out of issues within that Chelsea camp.
But I still think, though, that a lot of these players that are in that team now will not be there come the end of this transfer window. Because Chelsea bought.
Do you think he can get rid of that many players?
Yeah. I'm looking at it now, because Sky yesterday, they spent a good 20 minutes before the Leicester game talking about. I was thinking, isn't it Leicester Tottenham? I'm thinking, have I missed a day or something? Have I skipped a day, gone back a day? So I think, they were talking about the 7 goalkeepers, and Jamie Carragher's like, where they're going to get changed and all this nonsense. I was like, but look, Bashir Humphries is already gone. I think Chilwell is on the shop window. He's right there now. Chalobah, we know he's going to go. Kepa, Petrovic will probably go as goalkeepers. Gallagher is currently having a medical or signing his deal in Atletico. Matos, Casadei will go. Chukwuemeka's getting a loan. Andrin's going. Gabriel going. Broja, although he's going on a loan. But I forgot to tell you, Basil. So the 30 million, the clause, is basically if Ipswich stay up, they're paying 30 million. If they don't stay up, they're not paying 30 million.
Wait, no.
Let's hope for the survival then.
So
Wait, okay. So is he going on a permanent deal?
I
Or is it
haven't
like
read
a
the
loan and
I think it's a loan with an obligation to buy if they stay up. I think I haven't read it fully yet. I was reading it while I was setting up, but from what I've been told, they got to pay 30 million if they stay up, which is very, very unlikely after watching them against. I know it's Liverpool, but I'm just saying that the way they were playing, they ain't staying up. David Datcher Fofana's going, Washington's going, and Lukaku's going. So I still think there's a big squad still there. But I think what Maresca's been told, and we've heard it all before with Potter, is that he's going to have 25 to 26, 27 man squad to play with for the season. So they have to trim that squad down by next Friday or whenever it is. I can't remember, week Friday, and get rid of these players. But I don't know, man. I think João Felix coming in doesn't really make sense. We spoke about it in the WhatsApp. Don't make sense bringing him in. I think, me personally, we've only brought him in to make sure we can get rid of Conor Gallagher to get pure profit on the books. That's it. So it comes down to. So I don't know, man. But the result in itself, before we move on, the match itself, I was actually happy with Chelsea. I thought Chelsea played well in spells. That could have been a lot worse. And I think both goals, for me personally, were avoidable. Like in terms of the first one, it was avoidable. Do you know what I mean? Like Colwell's got to react a lot quicker. Correa has to be better in terms of trying to help out Colwell. Sanchez shouldn't go to ground to allow Haaland an easy dink over him. It was just avoidable. The second goal, I mean, Kovacic, like the one player to score against us, Kovacic of all players, running past Caicedo. In fact, no, let me take it a step back. Playing out from the back with Sanchez, who can't play out with his feet from the back. Fofana doesn't clear his lines properly. Kovacic somehow runs past Caicedo and Enzo, and then Colwell decides, I'm not going to block the shot. I'm not going to close that space down in front of me. I'm just going to let you take the shot, and I'll just turn my back against you and let you take the shot anyway. And then Sanchez, I don't know where your glass hands are from, but you need to return them because, boy, that was a save that you got to save. You got to save that.
Yeah, can I answer a question? Which is a surprise to me. Why is Sanchez back in your starting lineup? Because I thought Petrovic was the better performing goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Basil, God bless you, man. God bless you, Basil, for asking that question.
I am so confused, honestly.
I don't know. I generally, this goes back to what I've said before about Chelsea. We don't have a spine. We haven't even got a regular goalkeeper. We don't have a number one goalkeeper. So, like, you stick with one. And me personally, I've never liked Sanchez. I think he's very unreliable. Petrovic looks very solid in goal. We've just brought another one, George's son, I think his name is. So he's coming in. He's meant to be coming in as number one, which then means I think Petrovic will actually end up leaving and we'll keep Sanchez, and Bettinelli will still be third choice. So it goes back to what I said about 2 years ago when Bowley took over. I don't think we've actually got a spine in this team. I don't think we've got regular starters or nothing like that. And it almost is shake the ball and whose name comes out. That's what it feels like.
I would love to just sit in the room. I'd love to just sit in the room of the board and obviously just have like an honesty room and for them to explain to me the logic behind every player that they're just signing. Because this is like my behavior when I was like maybe 207 when I used to play Football Manager with Chelsea. You had all the money in the world and just buy everyone.
Listen, that's me now. That's me now. 23-24 season. You should see my squad, man. It's mad. I think I just signed Neymar as well, but I don't even need him as well. I'm all right. I got strikers.
Just top up the squad. Why not top up the squad?
Yeah, he's 33, and so what? I think I'm like 2 years ahead. So I'm like 26, 27 season or one of them. But yeah, no, I think, I thought City were always going to do that. They only need one chance. Haaland takes 3-4 touches of the ball, but then when he gets a chance, he takes it, and that's the difference between Jackson and Haaland. So, we gotta do better against Wolves.
I'll say this. I mean, Chelsea, in fairness, right? No bias aside, didn't play too bad. I thought they gave a good account of the world and were competitive against City. I think in the final third, what it is you just lacked that decisiveness. Whether it was that final pass, which was just overhit or wasn't accurate, or even just the decision making in terms of the final shot. And in fairness, Chelsea could have won that game. Chelsea could have walked away with a draw. It was that kind of game. It was just that City took their chance and then kind of took the sting out of the game. And
Yeah.
but it's interesting because I still think, even though Chelsea played well, I still don't know what I'm going to get from Chelsea. I feel like I'm still going to get a Jekyll and Hyde performance from Chelsea.
But this is
just
it.
because you've got so many players to work with.
Yeah, that's it, I think.
Well, I would say, relating back to what Theo said about the spine, if you ain't got a regular 11 or at least a regular starting front 4, front 5, depending on what formation you want to play, you're not going to get that level performance week in and week out.
Cohesion, no cohesion.
Yeah, this is what Maresca needs to establish within the next couple of weeks. Is, I know Palmer's going to be on my right side, but who's going to be on my left? Will it be Neto? Is Neto the guy there? João Felix is coming in. Is he the guy to be my number 10? Is he going to be a number 9 that kind of plays the false, if you would? Am I going to go 4-3-3 and then play two centre midfielders with Caicedo and Enzo and Lavia sitting for sure? Or am I going to play a double pivot and a number 10? Because
I think that will come though.
Enzo, that it will come. But
I think it will come. It's just going to take some time, I think.
He's got such an embarrassment of options, and it's funny because I was saying to one guy, he's a City fan, annoyingly enough. That,
you actually know a City fan? That's one club I don't know any City fans. That's mad.
I know 2, man. They came out the woodwork out of nowhere. Believe me.
Yeah, I bet they did.
But he was saying no. He said he tries to compare both squads of his and Chelsea's, and he was saying that obviously because City do the rotational thing as well. They've got players that they can bring in, bring out. But I said the difference between City and Chelsea is
they've got a spine.
It's quite frankly, they've got a spine. Number 2, they've got a structure where if the manager is signing a player because he fits. With Chelsea, you've got so many different types of. Modric is a different type of winger to Neto, even though they're both fast and pacey. Bit of trickery. Neto moves a bit different to him. João Felix is nowhere near those two. He's more technical. He's not a quick, beat for speed kind of winger. Nor is he a pure number 9. Jackson's supposed to be a pure number 9, but he finishes like a pure number 11. Like, there's no,
pure number 9, you mean?
That's kind. That's what I say. That's kind. That's being kind.
Yeah, I'm being very kind. I'm being very
Jesus.
kind. But it's such a weird position for the club to be in. So until he establishes who is going to be his number 1 what and number 2 what, that's the only thing I agreed with when Carragher went on his rant with Chelsea, where he said that when he played, and I think it's the same for any era, but 7 or 8 players knew that they were the guys.
Yeah, of course.
And then the other guys in the fight position, the other ones need the squad players. So that needs to be established quickly within the squad. So if someone like Sterling is being told he's a squad player, he don't like it, then he'll be the one to cut. That's fine.
Yeah.
But until that's built, you're not going to get a consistent Chelsea, and that's where the problem is. Then it's going to continue to stay that way. So yeah, man, good luck, man. Sorry for your stress, bro. I apologize.
You see why I got this out of the way first, so I can just move on. I can just enjoy it now. I don't have to worry. I can just carry on with it. But let's talk.
We'll do references back and forth every now and then, man. Don't worry, got you.
Yeah, no, I'll hear you, man. Don't worry about it, man. I'm here. I'm still here. But let's talk Arsenal 2-0 against Wolves. Thought it was impressive. I'll be honest. I'm not biased. I thought it was a good performance from Arsenal. But Basil, what did you think with your team, man?
I thought it was a standard performance. I don't even know if it was a good performance because we've got like a difficult run of games coming up now. And I didn't know what to take there because I just thought Wolves were that poor. I think Wolves just literally lacked any kind of quality to kind of hurt us. And Arsenal's the same in terms of we controlled the game, controlled possession. But I still think we're lacking something in attack. If I'm being brutally honest, it didn't flow as well. It definitely, even when we were 1-0 up, there was always the chance that Wolves could sneak a goal if they wanted to. And then when we got the second, it kind of took the sting out of the game. So I thought it was a professional performance, but I didn't take much from it. I think the Villa game will tell me exactly where Arsenal are, because then you're actually playing away from home, Arsenal, and then you're actually playing a team with actually some level of quality. And I think that will tell me where Arsenal are at, because I still think it's criminal that Arsenal have entered this season with virtually the same squad as last season. And it annoys me because when you're looking at who you're looking to usurp at the top of the table, is City, who are just a super team. And so you have to give yourself every chance to compete against them. And that means bringing in new players to freshen things up. If you think you're going to overtake City with the same squad as last season, or the same squad as you've had virtually over the last 2 seasons, you're bluffing. Because City just found for them now to turn it on, and they've got a style where they just know how to dominate games and just put teams to the sword. Whereas Arsenal, you can tell they're still at the stage where effort is still needed. They can't just walk through games. I remember there were certain games like City v Nottingham Forest, where Forest created a lot of chances, didn't take, and City just looked comfortable. And then they got the goal, and obviously, I think they won the game like 2-0. And obviously, they were still in like first or second gear. Arsenal can't do that. But apart from that, I think Arsenal, a lot of the Arsenal players played well. I can't complain. I still think we need a striker because apart from Havertz's goal, people say he scored, but apart from his goal, did nothing all game personally. And obviously, it's a goal where, as a striker, if Saka's flinging it in, obviously you have to score those. But it's one of those ones he doesn't have the composure when he has to engineer chances. And there was a chance he had on his right foot, and he absolutely just hit it. All he had to do was take his time and bend and hit it wide. So I think it's glaring in that match that we still need another wide man on the left-hand side and another striker, because I don't think we can continue with what we have for the whole season. But no complaints. I think it was a good 3 points. We take it. But I think the Villa game will be more telling as to where Arsenal actually are this season and what they can do.
Yeah, I think that's a good assessment, to be fair. I think I kind of agree with you that Wolves were kind of still in the game, but as much as they were in the game, they weren't. Do you know what I mean? It was like they didn't really give you much to work with. There was no threat from them. But I still think you needed that second goal. Kojo, what do you think about Arsenal? Because obviously they started the game really well. They started the season really well. I know it's only early days, first game of the season, but good performance from them to an extent.
Yeah, no, they did what needs to get done, really and truly. We were talking about gifts of goals earlier. You know, I try my best to not criticize goalkeepers too tough, but Jose Sarr just running into no man's land is going to be aid any goalkeeper. And that's not me saying he was going to save the header, because it's still a bullet header anyway. But my guy, give yourself a chance, please. It's frustrating to watch these men who are supposed to be at the top level making such ridiculous errors. It's just it's ridiculous. I'm even convinced he was looking at the ball. Genuinely, I think he saw the ball getting delivered and looked at what's his name, Havertz, and just thought, I hope he misses the ball so I can punch it. That's all I saw. And if anyone noticed his timing, if he missed Havertz, it's not hitting his fist, it's hitting his arm, it's dropping back down, and someone else is finishing that. It's a calamity. It's an absolute calamity, absolute joke. But then after that, they put them to the sword and they got their goal. Saka, I'm not saying Saka's predictable, but as a defender, if you have someone on his left,
I think he's very predictable.
He's very predictable.
Just cuts in on his left.
I don't know why defenders still allow him to do it. That's just
cuts in on his left.
Because I'm trying not to take away from his goal. I'm in the mood to just destroy defenders and goalkeepers.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's pathetic. You see a left footer obviously trying to get a yard to cut inside, and all you do is show your body the other way. Yeah. There's a certain guy called Mark Gahey, he did the same thing earlier, but we're not at Crystal Palace here, so I'm going to allow it. You know, you're allowing the guy to cut in and finish. I don't understand. It's borderline, quite frankly, not even borderline. It's stupid. It's stupid defending. I'm not going to call it not bad defending. It's stupid defending. You see someone trying to cut in, you're like, no. Position your body the right way and block the movement. He's done this week in and week out for the last 3 years, and he's been effective at it. So what do you have to do to try and stop him? Do it. I mean, look, if he goes in his other foot, he scores because he's getting better with his right foot. So be it. My thing about defenders is I would rather you get absolutely defeated by your opponent than you allow him to defeat you. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather he twist and turn you and you're like, rah, he just done me straight up, rather than Saka's cutting on his left. So what should I do? I'll show him to his right.
And I think Kojo said what makes him more criminal is that because Saka doesn't really have tricks, so it's not as if, as you said, like I don't know, like a Robinho, where it's like you don't know. So when they do tricks, you're just like
he hasn't twisted and turned.
And that's the issue. Whenever Saka does it, it's literally he just cuts it back into his left foot and shoots. So it's a simple motion that you should be able to predict. You kind of be better prepared for. That defenders are literally it's a good finish, but he should never have been allowed to cut it.
Ever.
Especially when any left foot on the right, any left foot out wide who doesn't have a right foot, or isn't as consistent on their right foot, you should never allow them an opportunity to cut in on the left foot. It's very negligent as a defender.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's look. I've watched Saka a lot for Arsenal, and every time he gets the ball, even for England as well, he wants to cut in on that left foot. And as a defender, in your head, you have to think, even if he doesn't do this, you have to think he's going to do it. He's going to cut in on his left. You've got to be prepared, and you got to see him outside and show him down the line. But it was just poor defending. It was poor defending from Wolves, and I watched them and I thought, and I felt the same. Although they did get a point about Leicester City and Ipswich, I thought Wolves might be in trouble this season if they carry on playing like that.
Yeah, just about to say that. I think Wolves are in trouble this season.
Yeah.
Because I was watching that game and I was like, they have nothing. Compared like last season, they looked good. They've sold Neto, and then I was watching that squad. I was like, they absolutely have nothing.
Max Kilman's gone as well. Did he go to West Ham?
Kilman's gone, to West Ham. Yeah. And I said, and I watched them. I said, if this team doesn't spend the next 10, 11 days investing properly in that squad, they could go down.
They've been told that they're going to spend money. Apparently, I read earlier on the Athletic that they're going to spend some of the Neto money and the Max Kilman money. I think they got 50 million, didn't they, for Kilman? So they've got a bit of money to spend. But again, you're doing business at the last week, like last couple of days, weeks of the transfer window. You really want your squad to be in by now. You know, the season started. You've had your pre-season. You don't want to be sort of bringing in, and who's out there, I don't know. Who wants to go and play for Wolverhampton? Who wants to go and live in Wolverhampton? Do you know what I mean? It's just not even in a disrespectful way, but
well, we know where they're going. They're going straight into the Portuguese league.
Yeah, they got to. They've got to. But I do worry about Wolves because they just don't look. You know, is it Huang Chi Lan Lee, the striker they got?
Wang Hee-chan.
Yeah. Wang Hee-chan. You know, he done well last season. I think he missed a lot of the season and still managed to, I think, score like 12 goals for them. So he needs to kind of hit that form early. I think I said it in the preview. He needs to hit the ground running early in the season. And I know it was Arsenal, so I don't think anyone was expecting Wolves to go and get a result at the Emirates. But still, show a bit of fight, show a bit of character, show a bit of desire. There wasn't any of that. So they got to be careful this season, I think.
I agree. I'm interested to see how the outlook changed on Gary O'Neill if they get into a relegation battle, because obviously last year he did do a decent job. I'm not gonna even front about he did, but narrative changes very quickly, and he signed a 4-year contract. Yeah,
has he?
A 4-year contract. Right? Yeah, 4 years.
Them Chelsea contracts, yeah.
Yeah.
Them death row, them Shug Knight contracts. Yeah, them Shug Knight contracts, yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
but yeah, we'll see how the narrative changes, man. Because I do think I think he is a good coach, but when you lose 2 key men, one, we look at how you replace them, and 2, to see how you utilize the system. And boy, if it doesn't work out, the narrative will change. Believe me.
The clock is ticking for O'Neill, but Basil, I want to ask you about your striker issues. No, I want to ask you because obviously, as I said, the window shuts. I think it's the 30th or the 31st. Can't remember. Shuts very soon.
Could be 31st, I think.
Yeah. We spoke about it in the Arsenal preview, and I don't know if your mindset's changed or you've changed. You know, you said Isak at the time, but surely you got to bring in a striker if you're going to compete for the league again, which I think you are. Obviously, you're there. You're going to be there or thereabouts. You got to bring in a striker, man. You can't go into this with Jesus and Havertz. Yeah,
I think they can. But anyway, go on, Basil. Sorry, go on.
No, we definitely. Of course, you want us to go. Of course we do. No, we definitely can't. And especially people forget, I think the Champions League this year, there's more games.
Yeah.
And it was because of formats change. So there's a lot more pressure on the players. And you can't continue playing the same squad of players for the amount of games they play. Because, like I said, if Saka gets injured, if I'm just using that, we don't have any replacement for him. We actually generally don't have a replacement. But from a striking perspective, no, it's just not good enough because we're so heavily reliant on the delivery of our wide men. And I've always said, in key games, our wide men can have off days. We saw it last season. Martinelli, even still, isn't even back to any decent level. Saka, there's times throughout the season where he can have an off day. So if you shut up, and Odegaard too can go. Like Odegaard wasn't really as effective in the Wolves game as he could be. So when you kind of shut off the supply, what happens then? You don't have strikers, who can kind of, the ball comes to them, take a chance. And I'll give you an example. Compare Havertz and Haaland. Haaland got the ball, could take about 3-4 touches, shrug off two guys, and then give you a sumptuous finish. That's the standard we're talking about. Have Havertz in that same position. Nowhere near. We don't. A chance is not fashioned.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between strikers who can win you games and lead you, and also score you important goals in crucial moments, than strikers who don't. Now, people argue and say, "Oh, Havertz got the first goal," but really and truly, it was the cross that made the goal. It was a simple header.
And Jose Sarr. And Jose Sarr.
And Jose Sarr. There you go.
Big
The
him
keepers
up,
come out. Keepers come out, open net. And obviously the deliveries made all the difference. So it's a simple header for him to score, for him to make. Apart from that, did nothing all game. Jesus came on, same mode, no real threat in front of goal. Well, that's the difference. But then you look at Haaland, he still has a lot to do when he gets that ball against a difficult Chelsea side. And look at the difference that makes. Yeah. Because then it eases the pressure. They can control the game how they want to, and then obviously get a second goal. So, and that's what I'm saying. Arsenal don't have strikers who can get you important goals in those key moments, in those key games. There's only Wolves. We can get away with even our strikers not scoring. But what happens when we come up against, once again, Villa away next game? What happens when we come up against City? When we come up against maybe a better Chelsea side, a better United side? Can these strikers make the difference? And my answer to that, honestly, is no. So we definitely need a striker. And if Arteta thinks that what we have is good enough, I'm sorry, and we don't win anything, he needs to go in the summer. Because for me, it then shows that he's not a manager who's serious or sees the flaws that need to be rectified.
Yeah,
and as
100%.
managers, you need to be progressive and see where the weaknesses are and address them properly, or go up to the board and tell them, we need to address it. So like I said, the spotlight, and obviously, like I said, if we don't do anything, we'll go back to this morning and say, why didn't he enforce buying a striker? Or even buying a wide man if you don't buy another wide man too. So, like I said, it's to Arsenal's detriment. I won't say anything. I'll let the season go by. But then the spotlight is on the manager, on our technical director, Edu. If we don't do anything tangible this season.
It's worrying as well, because I'm just reading here now that obviously David Ornstein put out yesterday that Eddie Nketiah he's there, not even close to trying to get a deal done for Eddie Nketiah. Obviously, he had personal terms agreed with Marseille. The club couldn't come to an agreement on the fee for the 25-year-old. But if he leaves as well, that leaves you another less, there's one less player that can fill in for those attacking options as well.
It's typical Arsenal's poor planning, because a lot of our transfer business relying on players going out. But then when you kind of leave it this late to get players out,
you start panicking.
You don't give yourself enough time and room to negotiate properly with the players you want. And as you said, you start to panic. Maybe you start to sign players you shouldn't sign because you're like, oh, maybe we just need someone. Or maybe then it's like you're then having to overpay on players because they realize, oh, you need this player. Time is of the essence. If you're serious, we don't need to sell. Come up with a fee. Whereas if you do it early, you can negotiate your fee, the structure, how you want to do it. You're going to do add-ons. But then when you leave yourself less time, the ball's is really in the court of the selling club. They have the advantage.
100%. We'll have to see. Transfer deadline day is going to be funny. I'll be sunning it down in Spain somewhere with my iPad.
Wait.
Watching along.
Well, expecting more Chelsea incomings.
Yeah, I hope so, man. Victor's on his way, man.
You guys said I'll be sunning down in Spain. I'll be sunning in Canning Town, my friend.
Listen, Victor's on his way, man. But let's move over to the Jammy Dodgers, man, because I feel like United.
Wow, wait, hold on.
United. Listen, I was watching that game on Friday. I was thinking, United are starting poor here. This is what we need, a poor start to the season for United. And out of nowhere, I knew that goal was coming. I can't remember if I said it in the WhatsApp or I said it to someone. Bring on a striker. You're going to win the game. It's as simple as that. Bring him on. But go on, Kojo. What's your thoughts on the performance, man?
I wasn't really fussed about performance. Like in terms of, I don't think it was terrible. I don't think it was good, but I don't think it was bad. It's one of those ones where I think once we embed in the new players, you'll see a better United. In the first half, I was sitting at home just ruining the chances that we missed. We needed a clinical player on the pitch.
Yeah.
And it's weird because Bruno Fernandes had two chances where you're like, guy, you got to score these. You just got to come away because he had two clear chances. You know, Casemiro played him through. He shot straight at the keeper. We just possessed them high up the pitch, and on some level it's working because obviously I think I prefer Mason Mount at 10 because he presses so well. So if you're going to want to have someone to press from the front, it's going to be him. He presses well and he feels to play long a couple of times, which is obviously what Marcus Silva doesn't want. So that didn't bother me. The only time I think we got lucky was when they had a 2-on-1 and Pereira passed it into Maguire.
Yeah, that was lucky.
Yeah, that one. Quite frankly, there's no excuse for that. You gotta find your player. There's enough space for him to be in as well for you to find him. But other than that, I wasn't very worried about Fulham. But like you said, I think we just needed a number 9 to come on. I said to Cahill that at halftime, I said, watch Mason Mount come off and we bring on Xerxes and we score. Why? We just need a focal point. That's what we need.
It didn't make sense though playing Mason Mount as a false 9, or I thought he was playing a false 9 anyway. I don't know if that's what
I think Bruno played as the false 9. Yeah,
I couldn't work out what Mason Mount was trying to do then, because 1 minute he's like in a 10, then he's playing as a striker, and he's just here, there, and everywhere. And I think that was what.
This is where my issue with Ten Hag's football has been in the last year is even when we play Højlund as the number 9, if you notice, Bruno Fernandes is always trying to press a lot more than him.
Of course, yeah.
And and that tends to be a theme with his teams. This is why I have an issue. It's like, okay, the reason why we make stuff difficult is because if you're sort of having this weird pressing structure from the front, defensively, the whole shape of the team is going to be messed up. Mm-hmm. So if the press doesn't work with that 1 or 2 players, everyone else is going to be in trouble. And that's happened with Bruno. So with Mason Mount, the reason why he got lucky with Mason Mount doing that press and having Bruno Fernandes as the 9 is because Fernandes is just another midfielder. He's not a striker. So at least he has someone that will come into his position and say, okay, if you're pressing, I know where to go. Højlund is not going to go back into a number 10 position. It's just not going to happen. Xerxes is kind of like a false 9 anyway. So he's a striker, but he kind of plays as a false 9. You could see as soon as he came on, he was linking up play. He was on the left a little bit.
It's more of a goal threat, though.
Yeah, exactly. More of a goal threat, trying to get on with Rashford. As soon as he passed the ball, when he was back to goal, he spun, ran in, and that's how the goal came as well. He spun, ran into the box, made himself available, a nice depth touch, and and he finished it. That's what we've been looking for a long time.
Yeah,
just that kind of forward to fit that football. And my gripe with Højlund was he would make so many runs, but the guys weren't finding him. But then when they found him, he wouldn't finish his dinner enough. Yeah. Whereas you got a guy who had one chance and just finished it straight away, but also links up well. So
it'll be interesting to see, because also I've watched Zerkin. I don't think he's the most clinical. I watched him from obviously Bayern and also Genoa. But it'll be interesting to see, because obviously the finish itself was quite instinctive in terms of he just stuck his leg out. And in fairness, it wasn't intentional stick out the leg, but he kind of stuck his legs out and the ball hit him and went in. So it'll be interesting to see what he's like when he has time to finish, and whether he does have the composure and the direction to put the ball where it needs to be when you don't have like 0.5 seconds to think about it and just react. So it'll be interesting to see how he is when he has time to react and how clinical he is. Oh yeah, go on.
Well, to answer that, what I was saying on the United show that I did with Theo was I believe that if Rashford, Ahmad, Garnacho, 21 average, and
write that name.
And anyone else who plays on the wings, even Sancho, if he plays a part this year, these guys, they would be stupid if they didn't feed off Xerxes, because he's the kind of striker that will sort of. I'm not even like Firmino. I know Firmino kind of did that for Liverpool with Mane and Salah, but he drops deep to give you guys the space to run in behind with your speed. He almost draws the defender out so you can get into that space and try and finish your chances. They'd be foolish not to take advantage of that. Honestly, very foolish not to take advantage of that as well. But for him, look, I don't think it was a lucky finish. I think it was very smart for him to get in there and put his foot in. Look, as a striker, I think the one thing you got to do is just look for any chance possible. So the fact that he got his foot in there and got the touch, I don't think that's lucky. I think you create your own luck, and he obviously got the goal, so it's a good start. But whoever we've got next on the Brighton away, yeah, I have bad memories of that. What's good about that? They don't have Pascal Gross anymore. He's one that used to dunk of us, so he can get out.
They got Danny Welbeck. They got Danny Welbeck.
Yeah, come on, man. Pascal Gross would be the one that scores the goal that makes the difference. Welbeck is just the complimentary guy.
Nah, Welbeck used to damage us every game. Like if he starts for us, nah, man, we're losing the game if Welbeck starts. Simple.
But yeah, I'm happy regardless, man. It's a win. We started well, so on to the next game, innit?
I thought Mazraoui played well though. I thought he was impressive. Coming into the team, and I thought he done really well. I thought Martinez done well, centre back.
Yeah. Oh, so, you know what? On that, now that you said that, yeah, can we just address something? Luke Shaw, we need to address this right now. It's enough.
Is he injured?
Again, it's enough.
Yeah.
It's enough. No. Basil. Let me go, please. It's enough.
No, God, I didn't even realize it was injured, but continue. The floor's yours.
It's enough. I've had enough. It's done.
You see how I baited you into that one. I knew that was coming. Go on.
It is finished. Listen, this guy, 2 days before the game, pulled out because he's out until the international break again. I'm waiting for another setback. Real news. Yeah. Listen, it's enough. It's done. The experiment is done. Look.
So who you got there? Who you got there though instead now? Dallo.
It's gonna be Dallo or Mazraoui. It's gonna play because they can both play left back. So it's got to be. Thing is,
well,
if Malassi can stay fit for about 2 days. Yeah. Thing is, if apart from the leg, I understand the leg break. I sympathize all day because that's unlucky. You know what I mean? When he got his leg break, it's unlucky. So, however long he was out for in that period of time, I sympathize. However, you have been at Man United. He joined us. Louis van Gaal was 2014, 2015, right? So this is his 10th season at Manchester United Football Club, and he's missed. And this is a real stat: 44% of games for this club. Listen.
Saying that though, Reece James can't be far behind that, and he's been there a lot longer.
Oh yeah. but I'm not here for you to copy Reece James. I don't want you to be like Reece James. Don't copy behavior. That's naughty behavior. Be fit because you got noise because we ain't seen you since February in a United shirt, and the last time we saw you on the pitch was in the final for England. Are you taking the mickey? And you came back and you're injured again? It's done. It's done. Which is game over.
Which is also negligent on his side, Kojo, because you struggled for fitness all season. Even he at some point should have said, "I'm pulling myself out of the England squad just so I can."
He shouldn't have gone. He shouldn't have gone because he
should never have gone. Southgate should have known that. But if I put Southgate aside, he should have known that. Listen, if I'm not 100% fit, you do yourself more damage. If you can't get yourself fit for the beginning of the Premier League season.
Yeah.
Then you should know that. Okay, I should never put myself in that England squad because he was, like I said, you only became fit from like the quarterfinals onwards. So it was like already you're kind of putting yourself in a pressure situation where games are like every 2-3 days. Why have you made yourself available?
Yeah,
only then to get injured before the season starts again. I'm surprised, but anyway, Coach, I don't blame anybody but your board for offering this guy renewals. Nobody the same, your club is an absolute joke. The same club that offered Phil Jones renewals when he was never fit to play for you.
Come on, speak it louder.
But you're not lying. But the difference between Luke Shaw and Philip Jones, as I love to call him, is at least Shaw was available for quite a bit of time. And listen, I did bring it up 44%, but when he got his renewals because he was playing and he was about. The new board comes in, and the guy has forgotten how to behave.
This is how they fool you.
How to behave.
That's it, man.
When it's contract time.
Yeah, they turn up.
When it's contract time, he's going to wake up. He doesn't understand. These guys are not wasting time. They're not wasting time. Look, they've already spoken about, maybe Martinez will go left back if there's no other option because obviously he can play there. The Lick's there. The Lick's been fitter than any of our centre backs that we've ever had in the last 5 years. Like, bro. This is what I'm saying. It's time. It's done. It's enough. if his future is away from Man United, I ain't gonna cry. The wind will dry my tears. It's there. You go. Get him out. It's done. It is done. The experiment's over. It's been a lovely 10 years. Kind
Theo
of.
won't be done.
It's done. It's
Theo won't
done.
be done.
Get
Do you know
him out.
he was finishing on a happy note, on a high.
Listen,
Look what's happened.
I am the guy that will bring you back down to reality quick. So if I'm down at the dumps with Chelsea, you're coming down with me as well. That's how we're doing it. But no, I think you're right. I think, you know, when you're that injured, you can't carry someone, sustain that throughout a period of time, especially at United, who are going through change as well. They're trying to rebuild a little bit themselves. You know, you have to have players in there that are fully fit. You know, European competition, domestic competition, all that. You need players that you can rotate and swap in and out of the team, and you'd expect Luke Shaw to be one of them. And if he's 44% in 10 years, did you say, or something like that? That's mad.
44% of games missed. That's appalling.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's appalling.
That's crazy.
In school, they'll call your parents and say, "Where have you been?"
Social services are getting involved and everything. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Getting that knock at the door.
Bro, yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit mad when you put it like that. But we'll have to see, man. It's a TBC. You might bring someone else. And the only thing about United, I will say, is they have got good youth players. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see another one of the products from the academy come through. Where they've got a left back, so I'm not sure. I haven't followed them last season. I didn't follow them much.
We do. But before I shout by United, I don't want Harry Amass to play just yet, because someone on Twitter, and I know it's going to trend if he makes a mistake. All I'm going to say is put the first letter of his first name and his last name together, and you just got a hold of the trouble. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what they're calling him already. If he makes a mistake, so there you go.
But you need someone, so you might have to fill in and do a job for a season or two and send him on loan. But
no, he's tidy, so I'm not worried. But yeah,
it'd be good, man. But obviously Damon's not here. If Damon was here, I'm sure he'd be like a Cheshire cat. Yeah, although he wouldn't be, because if you've been in the WhatsApp group today, you know that he's a bit peed off because they haven't signed anyone. But Liverpool started their season very well. Very, very good performance against Ipswich. I think that was a Saturday kickoff, wasn't it? The 12:30. But
can I also say this quickly? And this is more on Sky Sports, right? I hate how what's the name? Gary Neville just dismisses Liverpool in terms of like even like making top four. I was like, listen, they still have winners in their team.
Where did you put them? Was it like 6th or 7th or something like that?
I think he put them like 6.
Yeah.
I think it's just crazy. But then he'll put, and this is the part that annoys me.
He put Chelsea in there, didn't he?
He put Chelsea. It wasn't even the Chelsea. I didn't even mind the Chelsea, because I think Chelsea have the players.
He put
United there, and I'm like, after everything we've seen, after everything. United.
Nah, it's a bit biased. You want
to put United there, but then obviously then rule out Liverpool. You still have more or less the same winners in their team.
No, it was biased.
How many years? It was ridiculous and unprofessional. Even me as an Arsenal fan wouldn't have done that.
I said it was unprofessional, you know. Listen,
crazy.
No, I kind of like I can't remember what he said. Like what his rationale was for not putting him in there. It was on, but I wasn't listening.
About the Arne Slot and how he feels like maybe it might be a struggle. He also mentioned Slot, Maresca, and Ten Hag as his managers to watch, because he thinks that they've got 3 different, like, for lack of a better word, story arc type situations where Slot has to try and follow the Klopp sort of thing, and how would he?
I don't think he does. Yeah. I think watching them, he's already. I think I said it maybe in the Liverpool preview. He's already tweaking little things already. I don't think he needs to do that. I think he just needs to stamp his own authority, which he's doing. Even the way they played against Ipswich was slightly different to how I think Klopp, especially the old Klopp. I know Klopp changed slightly in like the latter years of his time at Liverpool. He changed it slightly how he got Liverpool to set up. But even watching him on Saturday, you can tell that it's a different manager running that team. And it's going to take a bit of time, I think, with Liverpool. But the one good thing about them for now is they've still got Mo Salah. They've still got Virgil van Dijk at the back. I'll give Slot his credit because he took off Joao Quansah half time. Not many managers would just hook off your centre back like that and bring on Kanate, and because everyone thought it was an injury, it was a tactical switch. So he's addressing things already like that. For me, that's a good manager. I think he'll do very well there. I think he will. Next season might be a challenge if they lose Salah, Van Dijk, and Trent. They all go, and you got to do a massive rebuild. Exactly, but you got to do a massive rebuild. It's going to be tough for Slot next season because you got to embed. You're still going through transition. It depends on how this season goes as well. If they make Champions League, you got that to factor in as well. So there's a lot for him. But this season, he's still got the spine. He's still got Klopp's team there. Literally.
Sorry. This is a Liverpool segment, and you got a hater in the comments talking about United. Can we deal with this guy, please? What's he doing?
Listen. We don't support what Kojo said. We support United haters. So feel free to hate away.
Okay.
Feel free to hate away.
So this is a Basil burner. This is what it is.
Basil burner.
All right.
That's funny, man. But what do you think, Basil? What do you think about Liverpool in terms of how they're going to perform this season? Do you think they'll? I mean, they looked good against Norwich against Ipswich, but what's your thoughts?
I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be sure on for top four because I think the experience is what counts. As I said, they still have the spine, and they still have people who are mentally want to win things. Mentally are at the top of the game in terms of like they want to be champions and they've won things and done things. They still have Van Dijk, who's still like a leader and a massive motivator in that team. They still have Salah, who's still hungry for goals.
Yeah.
They still have Trent, and we know how good Trent is. So they still have Alisson. So they still have like the main core of the team, who will also help the manager to kind of feed instructions to the players because these guys are motivated, regardless of who's leading the club from a coach perspective. They're still motivated to win things. You've seen it throughout the years, and that is not going to disappear. You can even see something like how Van Dijk shouts at players, or how they kind of communicate. It's still there. So I think that would help Slot. It's still the same Liverpool team. They do have quality players who can hurt teams. I don't think they'll win the league. I think they'll be there top. I think they have a better chance of getting top four than the likes of United and Chelsea, only because they have a more settled squad. In terms of still players who played with each other and won things together. That's the only reason why. Maybe the only thing that may count against them is maybe the squad depth. If certain players get injured, kind of replace like, or maybe if certain, they need to kind of chase a game. Do they have the players off the bench who can impact the game? So that's my only negative for Liverpool. The squad depth is what worries me. But they still have a strong 11 that can hurt any team, and I think that counts a lot for the season.
It's true. Kojo, what do you think about Ipswich? Because obviously they've signed Armando Broja today. I think that literally it just came up that the deal is done. It's a loan deal. I've just been looking on the Athletic. It's a loan deal for him for a season's long loan. There's an obligation to buy clause, which, as I said before, so they have to stay up in the Premier League to keep him for 30 million. That ain't gonna happen. But
I don't want Chelsea to get 30 million, so I hope it should throw down.
Listen, we need the 30 million. It's pure. I think it might be pure profit as well. But in terms of Broja, I think Ipswich might need, because watching them Saturday, they didn't play awful, but they didn't have someone that I think could take the goals for them. And I think maybe if they see the Broja that was at Southampton, was it Southampton he went on loan? It was Southampton he was on loan, I think.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I think he done well. He was either at Southampton, he went on loan, and Fulham. But I don't think he done well at Fulham. It was Southampton, they had a really good loan spell with. Yeah, so when he went there, he done well. If we see that Armando Broja, I think they've got themselves a good striker. But can you see them staying up based on how they played on Saturday?
Honestly, funny enough, I can, but only because I feel like we might have 4 other calamity sides. One of them wearing blue and having their last season at Goodison Park. No names.
I think they'll be all right this season. But yeah, go on.
we'll see. But no, look, I think with Ipswich, thing is, yeah, I do agree. I think they needed a number 9 as well, but I just don't know if Brujo's that guy. I mean, I don't know who they could have attracted. So maybe for what McKenna's looking for, maybe he fits. And if it fits, great. What was that? And who?
And Ketty was there for
40 million pound in Nketiah. Yeah, man, it's all right. It's okay, man. I know you need that money as well, but don't forget he's your greatest he's your greatest ever number 14. Yeah,
He wants that 14 shirt. He wants that 14 shirt.
Man, that's your legendary number 14. Okay, so don't forget that guy. Okay. No, look, I think they showed enough that I think in this kind of league where teams need to realize that unless they're playing, I say, the so-called top 6 sides and maybe 1 or 2 others, they'll play teams that will be open against them, and they can find a way to go toe to toe with them. That's my point.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna shock quite a few teams this year, and sometimes being the unknown quantity does help. The one thing they need to do that Luton didn't do is not get 1 points from one place and not get points from the other, being home and away.
Yeah,
they need to find a nice balance there. If they can find a nice balance and get some draws away from home, make home the. I like this guy in the chat, by the way. He said Arsenal are the most to lose.
I know. Yeah, I just seen that.
What a guy! What a guy!
He's going for everybody today.
Yeah. He's gunning for everyone.
Bear, if you don't mind, can you put something there about Chelsea as well? Tell us how you really feel. But other than that, no, I think they'll be okay. I genuinely think they'll be okay. I think they've got enough in the squad. I think what also will help is the fact that their new goalkeeper got injured, so when he comes back, that'll be good, because the keeper they played on the weekend had only played, I think, literally a minute of championship football last year, and that's due because of him coming off for an injury for the first team goalkeeper, who obviously now is at Burnley now. Oh, I just realized. Wait, no. I just realized we spoke about Ipswich. They signed the Burnley goalkeeper, didn't they, Basil?
Yeah,
Murich. Oh yeah, you know what? I'm changing my mind. That guy's a calamity. They're going down. Oh my goodness. They're going down. Sorry. Yeah, that's just changed my whole mindset. Sorry, I apologize. Yeah,
Just saying.
Sorry.
Just saying. I don't. I think for me as well, though, it's a massive come up, and when you come from the Championship, it's massive step up. You're playing the creme de la creme, and I look at Ipswich. I don't know if they've got the squad to do that. In the preview, it sounds mad now, but in the preview, I think I actually said they'd have a really good season. I'm sure I did. You guys done the preview. I didn't do it. You guys done it.
Yeah, we did it. Yeah. Do you think Calvin Phillips will make any big difference to them?
No. No. Crazy. Do you know what? I'll be surprised if he gets a game.
No, go.
If he gets a game.
Sorry, Basil.
I said it. I've never rated Calvin Phillips.
Yeah.
I think he's been overhyped by all the pundits in there because he's English.
Yep.
The thing is that he did the most bog standard job in Leeds in terms of break up play and make the simple pass, and it was the people in front of him. And obviously Bielsa's style of play that made him look better, because obviously what it was is he could play the ball, and they had what's his name, the left wingers at Barcelona now. The Brazilian. Rafinha. They had the likes of
Rafinha.
Rafinha and Kojo, where he can feed off, and obviously it made it look better. So what people see is that he's the pivot, and obviously things come for him, but it's like, no, it was everyone in front of him, the attacking staff,
they were looking good.
That made Leeds as a whole look good. So in a way, it kind of made him look better, because he could do his job and then give it to them. And then obviously goes to City, gets found out, not as good, which I have zero idea what City were looking at when they signed him and spending 50 million on him. Wembley, not as good. And you've seen the loan moves, it's gone to West Ham, not as good. And it's going to be the same at Ipswich, because ultimately you're now going to clubs who kind of struggle and don't dominate games. So if yourself, you're not that kind of domineering type of player, you're going to look like everyone else there, because you don't have a standout quality from what's there. There are players who can look good in a good team, and as the players who take them out of a good team and try to make them the main man, it's never going to work, because they don't have the ability to be that, or to do the things that would allow them to be the main man in the team. So I think he's going to have an absolutely average season at Ipswich, to be honest. And it wouldn't surprise me if the manager gives him a run of games, as Theo says, sees it doesn't work, and then pulls him out, just like what we saw when he was on loan at West Ham.
I don't think he'll get much game time. I think he's at best. I think he's I think the Championship suits him as well. I don't think he can mix it with the top players. I really don't. And I think he's missed a lot of. You think he's missed a lot of football? I know obviously he's been training and whatever else, but when you're training, it's one thing. When you're playing in a competitive match, it's a totally different environment and a totally different setup. And so he's. I mean, how many games did he play for West Ham? Was it West Ham he went on loan? Did he start that many games? I don't know.
No, he couldn't start. He couldn't start because every time he came off the bench, he made a mistake that cost him a goal.
That was
so
it.
They just said, "Yeah, man,
you're not playing." Exactly, and he missed practically the whole season when he was at City. Shamelessly sat there with his medals. But it is what it is. If you win one, you get one. It's cool. I'm not angry, but I just think for him, I think sometimes go away, go to another country, maybe go abroad. Get yourself, because I think wherever you go, he's going to have that stigma now that it's Calvin Phillips. What mistakes are you going to make now? Or do you know what I mean? Go to another country and just go and play your football elsewhere, and then maybe come back. Because I think I'm not saying he's that bad. I mean, he's a professional footballer, so he can't be that bad. But go and do it elsewhere, and then come back.
I hear it.
That's my thing. But Bear in the chat saying Ipswich can't talk. Ipswich will stay up, is what Bear's saying in the chat. So I wonder why Bear thinks that. I'd like to know if you want to tell us why. He's put something about Chelsea. Let me see what he's put about Chelsea. But Chelsea better treasure Abramovich glory days because they will never reach those heights again. I agree with that.
Damn.
I agree with that. No, I agree with that. But do you know what as well? To sort of add to that, you got to remember the government robbed Abramovich as well, because they haven't even sent the money. They haven't even sent the money over to Ukraine.
Wait, he didn't receive.
They haven't even sent the money. The money's still sat somewhere in an English bank, gaining interest every single day. So I agree with Bear. We definitely had our glory days. We had 20 years of glory days, but the bigger picture is they robbed him in broad daylight, and none of us said anything, and the money sat there getting some interest. So that's all I'm saying. I feel sorry for him.
It was the biggest robbery because they forced him to sell.
They forced him to sell it. They forced him to sell it.
They forced him not to even enter the country for like how long?
Yeah, that was years.
Years, and then told him, "You can't come back. Now you need to sell up."
Oh, and we're taking your house as well. We're taking your houses. We're taking all your businesses. We're taking everything. We seized it all. You're not even going to get nothing out of it. Not even the clothes that are in there. You can't have them. We're taking them as well. So I agree with Bear. The glory days there were for Chelsea. But before we move on from Liverpool, I know we kind of spoke about it, I think, in the preview. But out of the three, obviously Virgil, Trent, and Mo Salah coming to the end of their contracts. If they don't, I know Bear said in the chat as well that they need to bring in a six, which I think we all three of us probably agree with, that they probably do need that. But if they don't secure at least one out of those three players in those three that are due to leave in the summer for free, when you think there was 100 plus for Saudi money coming in for Salah 12 months ago, Virgil can still do it. Thiago Silva was there 38, 39 playing in the Premier League. He can still do it in the Premier League. And Trent is just, what Trent is. He's going to give you the service on the plate every single time with the passing. So one of those three have to be secured before Christmas.
Are you asking which one we would secure or prioritize? Is that
the prioritization order.
I think two.
Trent first.
Oh, no.
You think Trent?
I'm keeping Trent.
I agree with Kojo, but the only reason why I agree with Kojo is only because of age. Because of Trent's age, because of Trent's age, you get a lot more service from him for a number of years, because obviously Virgil's like 32, 33, said the Salah, I think Salah's like 32 years old, going on 33. So you question how long do you have with them at the very top level, whereas Trent is still like, 24?
Yeah, he's young. He's young.
24, something like that. So, yeah, I agree with Kojo. He's the one you need to secure first because of his age. I'll say this: I think the most important one out of all of them is Salah, because I don't know, you can't replace his goals, unfortunately. No one at that club has the ruthlessness in front of goal or the desire to score in basically every game in the manner that Salah has. You don't have that same relentlessness from Diaz. You don't have it from Nunez. Jota, you kind of get a bit, but sometimes he can be a bit messy in front of goal. They'll score a lot of goals, but sometimes not always composed. And then you don't get it the same from Gakpo. Whereas Salah, you can see the desire for him to score as many goals in a game and score as many goals in a season. And I think if he leaves the club, I don't know how to replace his goals.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It is true. Bear saying here that Virgil will sign a new contract. He can't play. He can't play for 2 more years.
I think Virgil's got. I think he's going. And it won't surprise me if he goes Real Madrid, because they'll look like free transfer if you keep the game for 2 years at a decent level. And yeah.
Nah, me
Or even,
personally.
or even Barcelona.
I think Trent,
Because that club-
Barca are struggling
just-
though. They can't register the players.
No, but Barca just need players, so they can say, well, free transfer version.
They're getting rid of Gundogan for that reason.
Yeah, so okay, yeah.
Yeah, so they can sign. Is it Olmo they've just brought or something? They got to bring him in. But I think for me, I would probably. I hear what you're saying about the goals, but I look at Trent, and he's got to be the one to stay. I mean, all 3 of them realistically should be signing a deal, because if Arnie Slot's got any sense, and he's probably doing this already, and the directors and whatever else that are there, they should be talking to those 3 players as a priority. If they don't bring in a 6 as well, they have to secure those players down for at least another year, another 2 years at least. And then you go out in the summer, next summer, you bring in the players that you want them to replace them with and phase them in and phase the other ones out. I think that's the only way you can do that. But for me, Trent has to stay future Liverpool captain, local guy from the city. I think Real Madrid will come knocking come Christmas if he hasn't signed a deal with them, because Carvajal there, but Trent will be at Real Madrid if they're not careful. Bear saying in the chat as well, Salah wants to break Liverpool goal scoring record. That's a good point. He'll sign a new contract, and I think he's settled in the city as well. I know the Saudi money's there, it's appealing, but I know, obviously living here, that he's definitely settled in Liverpool as well. So it's a good point. Good point. Let's move on. We're going to wrap up soon, but let's move on to some of the other matches. Obviously, we had Tottenham, Leicester, 1-1. Jamie Vardy shithousing everyone, the Tottenham fans, as he likes to do. Very quickly, should Tottenham have won that game? I'll go to Basil first.
Absolutely. I mean, it was kind of like, I mean, I would say they dominated the first half. I think Leicester just offered barely anything in attack. So it was all Tottenham in the first half, and obviously they deserved the goal. Probably should have scored more goals, but then it's like you need to give a full 90-minute performance. The second half, I would say Leicester were probably the ones who felt unlucky not to win that goal. Not to win that game, considering some of the chances they had. It just kind of flipped on his head. Leicester started to take more control of the game and started to create chances, and it's just typical performance from Tottenham. It doesn't change, and I've said this year in, year out for how long. The issue with Tottenham, it's a mentality issues. Those players, it doesn't matter what players they bring into that club. They don't have the mentality to go and win things. I don't even think they have a desire to actually win things. I think they're so comfortable that, we'll try, and if it doesn't work out, we're happy, we're earning our money.
We'll take part.
Honestly, we'll take part. Literally, they're just participation merchants. Honestly, they're actually. And I know, like, it sounds. People say because I'm an Arsenal fan, but even if I wasn't an Arsenal fan, they're just a joke of a club. Honestly, like, just the way, and even how they've operated in the transfer market this season, they're not a serious club who want to go places. They've never really shown intent in the market that here's the issues we need to address. Let's go out and buy the right, appropriate players who can take us forward. They seem happy with just buying players and hoping that it works out. They're fine with signing average players. And then if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, then it's like, they're fine to stay as part of like the fabric of the club. But they're a club that definitely needs new owners more than any other club.
Yeah, 100%.
it stems from the top and just filters all the way down to the bottom at club. And personally, I just feel sorry for Tottenham fans because there's
No, you
nothing to look forward
don't
to.
lie.
I tried, but look, they dragged me back into negativity. I
An
tried.
Arsenal fan feeling sorry for Tottenham. I don't think any
Yeah,
Arsenal fan.
I tried to give you guys sympathy, but
Nah, man.
look what they've done.
These are the same lies that Ghost used to tell in Power, man. Stop lying, man. As well.
Angela Valdez and all that. I know. I've heard that line before, man. Come on. Yeah. No, it's true though. I think with Tottenham, you know, they've always been the not even always actually, but they've been so close at times. Obviously, the Champions League final, the League Cup final, and all of that. But they just don't ever see anything over the line. And even they had apparently one of the best goal scorers in the Premier League in Harry Kane, and still couldn't get anything over the line when he was there. They had Jose Mourinho, who I think at every club he's been to has won something apart from Tottenham. It just tells you that there's something in that club that is it's wrong at the top.
Yeah, let's even circle back to it. Jose Mourinho's won a lot, right? And then they got rid of him the day before the final. I mean, even if they get rid of him,
And put Ryan Mason in charge.
Ryan Mason, that tells you everything. That club is not serious. A serious club would have said, you know what, do the final, win something for us, and then we get rid of you. At least you've done what you did. But to get rid of a winner a day before the final, 2 days before the final, and then put in an inexperienced guys and Ryan Mason to lead your club to a final tells you everything you need to know about that club. I bet you're right, to be honest. I've said if Arsenal win the league or the Champions League, everybody stay at home.
I agree with Bear on that one. No, I agree with Bear.
I agree. Stay at home if we win either the league or the Champions League.
I'm going on holiday for the whole summer if you win that. I'm telling you.
I'm leaving the country for good, man. I don't
You'll never hear the end of it. I thought Liverpool winning it was bad. Being in Liverpool when Liverpool won the league was mad.
But here's the thing for you. Liverpool's one was a blessing because it was during COVID.
But
so
still,
no parade for them to do.
But still, it was still one of them things that like you almost could hang that over them. I know they've got the Champions Leagues and they've got history as well, so I'm not trying to badmouth Liverpool at all. But I just know when they got that Premier League, that whole summer was going to be about them winning it, and it was, and rightfully so as well because they deserved it. But if Arsenal get it, it'll be 10 times worse. It'll be 10 times worse. There'll be no COVID. I want that. What's that new thing? Mpox. I want the Mpox. I want everyone out there with Mpox, and everyone's got to be on lockdown. Yeah, I want everyone on lockdown again, so we don't have to go outside and hear everything. But yeah, no, I think that's a good assessment of Tottenham. I thought Leicester done well. I thought Jamie Vardy, Red Bull half time, bangs out the goal as he does. I thought that was really good. But Kojo quickly, Everton 3-0, Brighton. Not good for Everton. Not good. Last season at Goodison Park before they go to Bramley-Moore Docks. You'd want to. I mean, I've just been watching Everton under 21s against Tranmere. I mean, they pulled it out of the bag at the end 3-1, but they struggled. And Beto was playing, and Tom Davies was playing for them. So I'll say no more.
I forgot he was there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tom Davies is not.
I'm sure it was him anyway. I'm pretty sure it was him. But yeah, they struggled. They won 3-1. But in terms of Brighton, very good, convincing win. Matoma back in the scoring for them as well. What was your thoughts?
Oh, Brighton spanked them. They spanked them.
Yeah.
Thing is, Everton have lost who? Onana this summer?
Oh no, 50 million to Villa.
50 million. And does anyone know the replacement? Does anyone want to?
No, but they brought. They did buy someone.
Get a replacement?
Yeah, they did. They did.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Tim something. What's his name?
No, not. I'm not talking about him. Not even. Oh yeah, actually, yeah. Tim. How do I say his name? From Villa.
Yeah, that guy from Villa. I can't remember his name now. I know you're on about him.
Yeah, I don't know butcher his name, but was he some sort of, was he the guy? Was he guy any moment? They bought Jacob Bryan from Lyon. Listen, it's great, but at the same time, I think when what they do in this country is if they have a guy who is either British or Irish, playing abroad for about 3 or 4 years. They're like, oh, this guy must be special. So just
They
go
bring
and spend
him
20
back.
million euros.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, great time. In Dyer from Marseille. Let's talk about him. Look, let me just what you saw on the weekend is what you're going to see a lot this season. The team is not good, and Sean Dyche is going to get to February and he's going to try and do miracles again. They are seriously in danger of starting a new season in the championship with a new stadium. Big trouble. But look, if I'm being honest, I expected Brighton to beat them, and they spanked them more than I thought they would. So, yeah, man. Good luck to Everton. Good luck to a nicer club. The club of the fans that started the rumours of the Red Cartel. Huh. Yeah, hold that.
Do you know what? I think with Everton as well, the one thing that I think will destroy them this season is having Ashley Young and Mikalenko still as their fullbacks, because Ashley Young cannot be running against Matoma. I know it could have been anyone. It could have been me. I would have outdone him. But you can't have. What is he? He must be 39. He must be in that age bracket now. He must be touching 40.
I think it's about
He's 39. Yeah, he's 39 right now. Look, his time is up.
Oh, he's 39.
Yeah, he's 39. He's 39. He's near my age, so I can talk for him because we needed the same age.
The funny thing is here, I remember his debut when I was in secondary school for Watford, which is insane. Yeah. I'm a fully grown adult now. And this guy's still playing.
And he's still playing. He's still trying to play football at the top level, but I think he's going to be a flight risk for them. I think Mikalenko on the other side, I said in the preview for Everton, they need to go out and get a proper goal scorer, because Calvert-Lewin is one of those strikers that just he's had too many chances to try and be the number 9 for Everton. They went out and brought Beto, who started well for them, but as I just said, he's been playing in the EFL Trophy for flipping for Everton, so he's not going to be the guy. They've lost a Nana, who I think will, do you know what I mean? It'll be a big loss for them in that midfield. Went on to score for Villa as well in his debut. So yeah, I think Everton will see a lot of those results this season. You know, there's 3-0, 2-0. They're going to get spanked a lot, I think. But we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. What's your thoughts quickly, Basil, on Everton?
I think that's shocking. I mean, I was saying to Kojo, I said, I think they're in danger of going down. And seriously, they could. For the reasons you mentioned, they've not refreshed that squad. Actually, Young still starting. No, they're starting fullback. Mikalenko, Dominic Calvert-Lewin still starting as their number 1 striker. Who else is it? There's nothing there. Nothing there. And the fact that even they still have Dyche still managing that club tells you everything. I was surprised. I thought, we'll keep them up and then maybe they'll look for another manager come the summer.
I think it's because the club's going through a lot of turmoil off field as well.
They're trying to sell the club, which which doesn't help them. But all this uncertainty is just not helping this club whatsoever. And it boils down to, like I said, it's just negligence in terms of just bad signings over like maybe the last 3-4 years and not refreshing the squad appropriately. And after a while, it comes back to haunt you. And Everton shouldn't think that they were above going down, because nobody had Leicester going down when Leicester went down. People thought Leicester were a stable, had them in Champions League, had them in Europa League. They thought they were a stable Premier League club, and they went back down. Luckily for them, they came straight back up.
Yeah.
West Ham have gone down in my lifetime when people didn't expect West Ham to go down. So Everton shouldn't think that they were above going down in this league if they don't get their act together.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. So it'd be a shame for them, though. It'd be a shame. Obviously, as I said, I'm up in the city, so I know that obviously, Evertonians, that's their life, is their club. So yeah, it'd be a shame. But
shame for who?
No, for the city. Come on, man. I'm trying to be diplomatic. I gotta live here, man. I gotta keep both sides of the city.
Okay,
I gotta keep both sides of the city happy.
For Theo, you peak.
Luckily that has David on here. Lucky that have David on here too, because
listen,
he would say the exact same.
No, I might be able to get to the games. That's what I'm trying to say. I might get to the Bramley-Moore Ducks in the championship. So yeah, no, but no, I think it'd be good. So yeah, I'm sure it'd be good for them if they stay up. But we're at the end of the first live debate show. So Kojo, Basil, thank you joining as always. I'm sure next week I'll be the one that's here smiling, talking about Chelsea doing well. And yeah, you know, if you're new to the Kojo, don't look like that, man. It's gonna happen. Don't worry. We've got Wolves. We've got Wolves. We'll beat them. We'll beat them. But yeah, no. If you're we will, man. Just relax, man. We're gonna beat them. We're gonna beat them. But
should I put any Chelsea players in my FPL?
Put Neto in there. He's gonna score. He's gonna bang against his old team. Trust me. Yeah. Trust me, you'll score. But if you've been in the chat, obviously Bear's been in there. Bear, thank you very much. Anyone else, if you're back here after the live stream, make sure you leave some comments and like the video, share the stuff, subscribe to the channel, all of that as well. And we'll be back very soon with another debate show next week, man. Thank you very much for watching.